Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw News Brief Weekend Roundup Edition. Before we get into the news, let me ask you this. If you're watching us on YouTube, smash that like button, but do it an
odd number of times.
That's right. So 1 is good, 3 is good, 5 is good, 7 is good, 9 is good.
Any numbers ending in those numbers is good.
Yeah. Anyways, now that we've mentioned that, let's try to get this one up to 615 likes. Larson, what's in the news?
What's in the news? I better go to my... Oh, gosh. On Saturday. Say no to this idea. So BodySlam.net, I believe it's Cassidy Haynes is his name.
Yes.
Got a hold of some exclusive materials that relate to the revival and probably the final straw and them being employees of WWE. So apparently the idea was to give the revival a comedy gimmick.
Yeah.
And apparently these illustrations, designs were handed to the revival from Vince McMahon himself.
Mm-hmm.
And it is abysmal.
Yeah.
They basically look like jesters.
Yes.
With the color blocking, bright, loud colors. It looks like Dash Wilder has like a giant pendant.
Oh yeah, no, I have here. I've got one of them. There were three color schemes. I have one of them. You can check out the rest at bodyslam.net. But here it is. This is a bit. So yeah, go ahead, please. Continue your description.
So I'll pull a picture here. Dash Wilder. I'm looking at the green and white color schemes. Looks like they have glow sticks maybe. Mm-hmm. Dash Wilder has a top hat, two-tone, green and white, and then a giant chain with a huge pendant on there that says Shatter Machine.
Yeah,
and so it's like the size of a medium pizza.
Yeah, the picture I have is of the Hogan color scheme. Looks like red and yellow. They both are wearing lipstick in this. Red
and
lipstick.
Bow ties. And
bow ties. I don't know. So, okay, this is unacceptable, obviously. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's pretty much, hey, we're going to give you a reason to leave the company. Here it is.
Well, okay, so to a degree, context kind of matters. Like, I doubt that he was saying this is going to be your rebrand. It was probably more along the lines of, we're going to somehow storyline turn you into a comedy act where they will begrudgingly wear this stuff. That's my guess.
This is what it says on Buddy Slam. Quote, WWE's plan was to repackage Revival with new ring gear and new music with a completely different dynamic for the team as Vince McMahon who wanted to turn them into a comedy team. Now, this is a begrudging thing. I don't know if they'd go this full hardcore with the repackage. If this is like kayfabe, they lost some sort of match or bet or something, and then this was their punishment.
That's how I... Okay, so like... You know, them being spied on by the Usos when they were like shaving each other's backs and stuff like that. So I kind of figure that this would be this would be along the lines of like, you know, somebody having to eat dog food or something like with Baron Corbin. You know what I mean? Like it's along those lines.
I kind of feel like you're giving WWE too much of the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. It's not here in this report, but elsewhere on Twitter, and this could be just rumors or some other information that hasn't been corroborated by Body Slam or anybody else. Apparently, the genesis of this, I can't source it. I'm sorry, I just read it on Twitter, so who knows?
Yeah, no,
it's just someone making stuff.
We do that all the time. It's good.
Yeah,
we do what we can here.
The genesis of this is remember when Dash Wilder tripped during his entrance?
Yeah, sure.
And apparently Vince saw that, thought it was funny. He was like, "Hey, these guys are funny. Let's give them a comedy gimmick now."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll look. We're gonna find out whether it's gonna be on Talk Is Jericho, Talking Shop. We don't know.
Yeah,
we're gonna find out. I just look. I know that. So the worst, I think, to my recollection, the worst recent rebrand has been Shorty G. Do you agree?
Yeah,
it's got to be up there, right?
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's terrible. But it's sort of an empowerment gimmick, you know? He's owning it. This doesn't... So, I mean, it's not like they... Look, they're not opposed to humiliating people. We know that.
No, they're not.
That being said, there's got to be some. I'm interested to hear the story behind whatever this was.
Oh, obviously, I am too. At the same time, if it was a situation where Vince was like, well, these guys are out the door. I'm going to pitch them this comedy angle to see if they'll bite, just to really destroy whatever value they have left. When they move on to the next phase of their career.
Yeah, maybe. Could be. Interested to see what it is. But yeah, no, this is absolutely atrocious. It's so silly. And it's just, honestly, it is regardless of the reason, the context, whatever.
It's trash.
It's unacceptable. And it's just more reason for wrestlers not to want to go to WWE.
Yes.
It's like,
regardless of context, reasoning, what storyline motivation, if there was any for it, it's a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm, yeah, it really
terrible.
is. Did you see? So I forget what James McKenna.
Mm-hmm.
I forget exactly what he does. Was he part of Wrestling Sheet?
For Pro Wrestling Sheet, I believe.
Okay.
He still does.
Okay. He busted out a tweet from 2017, like December of 2017, that showed Neville's original outfit that they scrapped at the very last moment.
Oh, for his main roster call-up?
Yeah, and do you remember at the time, and I had never seen this before, but do you remember at the time there was some rumors that he was going to debut as like a Mighty Mouse type character?
I remember that, yeah.
Well, this was a full-on superhero outfit, complete with the mask. like a Lone Ranger style mask.
Oh my gosh.
Horrible. He even in the costume render, he looks dejected. So they even got the emotion correct in the artist render.
The birth of Bastard Pack right there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Anyways, let's move on here. We're going to talk about the idea of WrestleMania 37 potentially being canceled, Larson.
Yeah, potentially. What can you do? Can't do much about it.
What can you do? Okay, so before we go into full panic mode here, WrestleVotes. So was this from WrestleVotes also the full disclaimer bit?
Yeah, this full disclaimer, and then the actual tweet, and once it starts with LA's SoFi Stadium, that's when I started writing stuff.
Okay, so WrestleVotes had this tweet. Said, full disclaimer, it's far too early to speculate on specific details. However, WWE has begun researching a plan B on an alternative site to host WrestleMania 37 if the state of California is not allowing large gatherings and or SoFi Stadium is not finished on time. Of course, Los Angeles's SoFi Stadium, which was set to open with a couple of Taylor Swift shows in late July, announced that both have been postponed till 2021 and that the stadium's opening would be delayed due to the ongoing pandemic. A representative from SoFi Stadium issued a statement which read, "We will continue to monitor the COVID-19 situation and remain focused on having a safe and healthy environment for all now and when we open." Last Wednesday, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti said that the city should plan on going without large gatherings till 2021, adding, quote, "It's difficult to imagine us getting together in the thousands anytime soon. So I think we should be prepared for that this year. But until there's either a vaccine, some sort of pharmaceutical intervention, or herd immunity, the science is the science. And public health officials have made very clear we have miles and miles to walk before we get back in those environments." So Larson, speculate, where is WrestleMania 37 going to take place?
Tampa.
On the beach?
No, in the football stadium. A year from now, Florida's already saying, yeah, you can run shows. A year from now, they'll say, fine, just have people there. Probably. Yeah,
the Florida's going to find out probably sooner than later that this is a little bit more serious than they're taking it. So I kind of doubt that's going to happen. I don't know. There's so much.
I mean, we've already heard that Tampa was in the running to host 38, since obviously this year didn't happen. If it's a big if, but if Florida is still pretty lax about intervention efforts in terms of keeping this pandemic at bay, and they're still, more or less open for business come next April, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they obviously have to make a decision before next April. They can't just decide a week before, we're going to have WrestleMania in Tampa. And I would suspect if there are significant delays with the opening of SoFi Stadium, they would have a timetable when, a certain amount of construction has to be completed by such a date. And if that's not the case, how long that's going to delay the opening of the venue. If it gets to the point where it seems pretty obvious that by mid-March it's not going to be ready, months in advance, obviously, then they'll have to do something about it at that juncture. Yeah,
I'm sure they're probably all like keeping constant updates on their timetables for when they can actually get that place finished. Do you know what the original timetable was for SoFi to be open?
The first two events were going to be the Taylor Swift shows on the 25th and 26th of July. That was going to be the opening.
Of what? Of this year?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And because it's supposed to host the Rams and the Chargers this year for the NFL as well.
Do we know if there's any during the like right now during the pandemic? Do we know if there's any construction going on?
I do not know.
Okay. So yeah, that's interesting stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I don't know how much they can really be researching. I mean, obviously it's sort of in the beginning stages because there's so much up in the air. But obviously there are probably some options that are more likely than others. I mean, obviously the first things first, you want a stadium that's like guaranteed to be open, or an arena that's actually open. I think they'd be happy at this point with a VFW.
Yeah.
to run Mania, which by the way, I think it'd be a rad idea if they started allowing groups in phases to start running Raw, SmackDown, NXT at a VFW. That'd be rad.
Too bad the one in Receipt is torn down.
I know. That'd be awesome. It's like start mirroring. There is a great article in Sports Illustrated today, or Sports Illustrated Online or something like that, where they talk to a bunch of. It's a really heartbreaking one, but they talk to a bunch of indie wrestlers.
Indie wrestler one, yeah. I saw
they talked to like Danhausen among a couple others. Shaza McKenzie, who had like basically emptied her life savings to come out for WrestleMania weekend. Yeah. It's pretty gnarly. I feel really bad for those people.
That's rough.
Like she apparently she got it, according to her, she got on the airplane, was up in the air, and everything was fine. Up in the air, and then when she lands, that's a long trip. It's like a 20-hour trip or so, or it can be. She lands and everything's changed. Yeah. That's horrible. That's so bad.
Sucks. That sucks.
Yeah. Anyways, also what sucks, Cassius Ohno apparently no longer employed by WWE, man. What's going on here?
So he was the subject of a lot of rumors once the first rounds of releases were announced by WWE on Wednesday. But it looks like Cassius Ohno, Chris Hero, probably the name he's going to go by now, time with the company is done. Following those rumors in this week's newsletter, Meltzer confirmed his release, and then Ohno changed his Twitter handle to WWE Alumni because Wednesday night he was in the WWE Alumni, and then tweeted out a picture of his boots, really dramatically lit, sitting in an empty ring. And so it seems like for the second time, he has been released by WWE.
Yeah. This is a bummer. His Twitter account is a bit on the not to downplay this, but it's sadly on the a bit dramatic side, like it's changed his name, like you said, to WWE Alumni. Like his profile picture and banner is all blacked out. And then that picture of his boots in the ring, that's a real bummer, man. That sucks. He was doing some really good work. From what I caught in the UK stuff.
Oh yeah.
He was doing great work over there. Just really fantastic stuff. Joey Ryan posted a picture of him and Chris Hero at one of their first matches, I guess, or one of their matches, and he says, man, this is like one of my favorite matches I've ever had. I like to have it again. So, God, I really hope that he hasn't. It's like one of the biggest crimes in pro wrestling, like not little crimes, but, is that he never had a main roster moment. I really wanted that for him. I'm sure it's something that he would like. Talk about the most deserving guy never to have a main roster moment.
I know. I don't know why they never did anything with he and Cesaro, teaming them back up. That would have been phenomenal.
I know. I mean, talk about the perfect fourth member for the Artist Collective. It was him. Completely. He would have brought so much, so much. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. I
don't get it either.
It's an absolute bummer. There's been all sorts of little updates here and there from the people who have been released. Some sadder than others. I know Kurt Hawkins' wife had like a really emotional Facebook post, apparently, or a blog post that was really sad. Apparently, she's 30 weeks pregnant when they got the news. So that's like really bad. And Mike Kanellis has been doing the round. Mike Bennett now.
Yeah,
I
he's
guess.
been doing a lot of interviews of late.
He's been doing a lot of interviews. He had some interesting things over at Fightful. He talked about how Heyman pitched him and Maria on the angle that eventually became like the Cuck thing. But originally, before they told anybody they were pregnant again, he came to them and said, "Hey, we want to do this thing, which is going to lead to a match with Seth and Becky, like a mixed tag match." Mm-hmm. And then she was like, "Well, here's the thing, I'm pregnant." And Heyman was like, "Okay, let me come back at you. I want to pitch something to the boss." And then, but tell Vince first. And so they told Vince, and then he comes back with, I guess, the Cuck angle. This is pure speculation on my part. That must have been the most frustrating thing for Paul Heyman to hear. It's like, you just signed a deal. You just signed a deal, and you're telling me that you're pregnant again?
Wow.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. People are people. People are crazy.
It's crazy.
Anyways.
That's crazy. Let's talk about Raw, or maybe that'll be crazy tonight. Before we get to the proper WWE.com Raw preview, Ryan Satin tweeted out, quote, "Hearing it's possible that one of the wrestlers who was released from WWE last week can make an appearance on Raw tonight. Someone who's gone could be back."
Yeah, that's cool.
We already know that Drake Maverick's in the Cruiserweight tournament. He's still going to be around even though he got released.
Yeah, somebody had. Should we spoil this? Because
no, I wasn't going to spoil it. Fightful had a possible name, but I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, cool. Right on. Hey, I didn't know if you'd seen that or not. Or not. Yeah, no, Fightful has a name. Just subscribe to Fightful Select. You find out who it is.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they are. So is the person that might be returning. Let's get into the Raw preview.
Yeah, first item: how will Drew McIntyre respond to Seth Rollins' attack? He probably won't be very happy about it.
No, I don't think he's going to be very happy with it.
That's just my speculation.
Next, Rey Mysterio takes on Murphy in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. I'm pulling for Buddy, dude.
Me too. I want to see Buddy win. Aleister Black squares off with Austin Theory for an Money in the Bank ladder match berth. I kind of feel like Austin Theory doesn't have much of a chance unless there's serious involvement on the part of his cohorts there. Yeah.
This Money in the Bank thing is sort of off the wall. I think they're going to need veterans in that building to do this stuff. And Aleister Black, that's right up his alley.
You know what I want to see? If Aleister's in this and they're fighting in the hallway, getting up to the roof, I want to see him try to black mask somebody in the hallway, but he can't get around because he's in a narrow hallway and just kicks the wall and puts a hole in it.
He goes, and then Apollo Crews looks to topple MVP and join the Money in the Bank ladder match. Well, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
He'll definitely topple MVP. That's going to happen.
Yes, that is going to happen.
Are they giving away all the winners here by listing the winners first in each of these matches? Because those are all the favorites here.
They are all the favorites. I don't know. Maybe it's like when they did the draft and they actually released the exact draft order.
God, can you believe they did that? What a clown show. Golly. Anyways, on the audio version of today's show, we will be what's it called? Answering your questions from the Twitter.
What it's called.
Yeah, it's Monday, man. It's Monday.
Yeah, no, tell me about it.
We're gonna be doing that. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.